Greetings, welcome back to my channel. This is Stasia Bliss, where we talk about all things Kundalini awakening, life force energy. Today, ooh, kitty, I'm gonna knock my tripod over. Today, I felt to talk about throat chakra and blue. Came up for me today pretty hard, and messages from spirit, messages from your higher self. What happens when your throat chakra awakens? That's basically what we're gonna talk about. I think these glasses are wee bit crooked. So anyway, thank you for being here on my channel. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the new subscribers. Welcome. Thank you for liking, for sharing, for coming back again and again. I hope that you find some value here from things that I have learned along my journey that I'm here to share freely with you because I love you and you deserve it. And boy, I had to scrounge hard for some of this stuff. So here we go. I wanted to share some really valuable technique and process that I learned when working to open my own throat chakra. First of all, I want to give some backstory. This is probably 2004 or something for me. During the 2000 to 2004 period, I had a lot of awakening stuff in my body and my physical body, and one thing was I felt like I was swallowing giant chunks of my throat. I know that sounds gross, but it's true. And I didn't know what it was, and at the time I was reading a lot of books. One of them was Bringers of the Dawn. Kitty! Just wants to knock us over. Bringers of the Dawn, Barbara McKennawick, if you haven't read her amazing stuff talking about what happens when we come online and you know, we're system busters and all of this stuff. But I remember reading things that really soothed my soul about what happens when the nervous system is receiving more cosmic energy and so forth. And this was one of the first places I hadn't gone to yoga school at the time that I was reading this. Now, 2005, I was at yoga school, so this is probably more like 2000, 2001. I first went to India in 2000, 2001, and spent a year traveling in Asia. And anyway, when my throat started having this opening experience, it was like I was swallowing like giant chunks of my throat, and I was like kind of freaking out about it. And then I was starting to read and learn about the chakras and you know, that they expand and that they open, and I started to really just tell myself that's what was happening, that I was opening up my throat. And I had come from a childhood where I was you know, I didn't really feel like I could speak my truth. I felt like all the truths were given to me. Kitty, come on. Come on. Come on, it's nice outside. You don't need to go inside. Come on. Come over here. Come on. It's okay. It's okay. Anyway, so at the time, I had left the church that I grew up in, and I was seeking to express myself anew. And so one of the teachers that I found along the way, mentioned her before, Almeen. She does some really incredible, deep work. She introduced me to the idea of basically light language, and a lot of you have possibly heard or seen or maybe experienced this sort of speaking in tongues, which I grew up learning in the Christian scriptures was like a gift from the divine. So when she was talking about doing this and allowing this to open up the throat and allow your gifts to come forth, I was like, oh, this seems like right along with what I've learned. Ooh, it's like nice, but still a little bit chilly out here. Anyway, so to do this is basically just to allow yourself to kind of, I'm really laughing at these glasses, but blue does help open the throat is why I'm wearing this. But this technique is allowing like whatever wants to come through. And I've done this on other videos like really long time ago, maybe 5 to 8 years ago. So if you dig into some of my old videos, and I used to do this on Facebook Lives, which I since closed that account and have a different Facebook account. So all those videos are logged. And at some point I may repost them, but basically doing light language for you all, but how I learned to do this and how I suggest you do this to help open your throat. And this can be really soothing for throat issues, sore throats. Of course, if you have really sore throat, then you're going to want to wait till you get through that. But this is about opening the throat chakra. This is about accessing truths that are beyond the cognitive mind, because when you're speaking known words, your mental is really attached to what you're saying, and you're constantly like in judgment of yourself. So to open to something beyond that and get that throat chakra to become more of a channel for divine wisdom for you, it's basically just to open it and just let whatever wants to come out. I always feel like I sound Chinese or something when I do that. But then continuing, and let your consciousness drop down into your throat and even to your heart. And feel where you're clenching when you do this. I hope you're practicing with me. Feel where you're clenching in your throat and try to relax and open it while you're allowing this like gibberish talk to come through. Try different tones. Then try to focus on the heart space and what you actually are feeling while you're letting whatever fall out of your mouth. And it might not sound as, graceful and cool as what I'm letting come out, but I've practiced this for a long time, and I actually find in relationships, if you're having miscommunication problems or issues, boy, doing this practice together, not only does it lighten the mood and allow like some laughter to come in, because it's kind of funny, but you can really get through some blocks if you like take it seriously and you just like heart to heart open up to each other and just back and forth, and then return and just let this non-cognitive voice come through you, the one that's not tied to the programs of the mind, and it actually does some miraculous things to the throat center. At first it's going to be funny and maybe difficult to allow yourself to surrender in that way, but if you can, I've really found it to be extremely beneficial, and messages of love can really come through. The opposing great technique that I found with that is also just silence. Silence, deep breathing, and toning can be really, really like beautiful for the voice and the throat, because we do tend to just answer people and fill this space with talking. So on the flip side, maybe telling the people around you, hey, for this day I'm going to be silent, or for this hour I'm going to be silent. I've done this with the gibberish with my whole family. I'm like, this hour we're only going to talk in gibberish to each other. And we had like a fabulous time. Lots of cool stuff. And then the toning, I'll end with that. So our own voice has the capacity actually to tune our chakras, and that's really one purpose of chanting, is not necessarily to get it right the first time, even though intonation and all of that is important. When you do it, you're actually tuning your instrument. So even if you sound funny at first, you're like taking your voice, oh, and you find where you're kind of stuffy, like I'm still a little bit congested this morning, so you're moving your throat, you're like going around the congestion, go up high, find where you feel stuck, even if it doesn't sound like great. That's not really the point. The point is to get around the sound and sort of like stretch it out in there, because we tend to speak in just a single familiar stream, right? So if we can, and even in voice lessons, you know, to open the mouth more high, try to move the sound around, is also going to be really like beautiful and helpful to opening the throat. Okay, and wearing blue, throat chakra resonates with blue, so get out into the blue sky, find some blue color therapy classes, wear some blue, and allow the throat chakra some nourishment. Eat some blueberries, get yourself some blue spirulina kombucha or whatever, and have a beautiful day, yo! Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, please press like, share it, subscribe, and I will see you again. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste, and I love you.